I have a dedication to the helping women and families with domestic violence, because I lost my daughter Kathleen, my youngest daughter, at the age 22, and she was 11 weeks pregnant with a baby girl. You know, Mom, I'm having a blast. I don't want to get involved in anybody seriously. And then all of a sudden she met this military gentleman here on the base in Mountain Home. One of her good friends said, you know, she's got bruises on her arm, and I know what that is. And it was him, finger marks, and I didn't pay attention to it because she bruised easily. A month after that, she decided, you know, they were going to get married, and I was like, Kathleen, you can't do this, you know. I says, and I remember saying, Kathleen, I said this to her, I'm not going to bury my daughter. I can't bury my daughter. Domestic violence gets worse, not better. She was married 6 weeks. And she's already left him, and when she did leave him, I said, you know, Kathleen, you try to look for help, try to get help. Here's the thing, there was no viable place for her to go. She went to the health and welfare, she went to the base, they gave her wrong information. What happened was he knew that she was alone, isolated on a ranch, and he came that day. He pulled out, watched her walk and almost get to that house, and he hit her at 50 miles an hour and killed her. I'm bringing this to the forefront because we need this service. We are saving lives. Every day we are saving lives. And let me say it again. If we had these services, when my daughter was reaching out, my daughter would be alive today, and I would have my granddaughter in my arms.
Farrell and I get a lot of attention about the women's shelter, and people always say, oh, that's so great, but it's not about us. We might have had the idea, but it's the volunteers, it's the people like Kim and all of those who have donated, who have made this work for the people that need it the most, the women who have been abused and are in the shelter.
I think that we need a place to go and find shelter and to find a new life, and I knew I had to get out of that situation, and without their help I would still be in Upton, Wyoming today, probably still in an abusive relationship.
I would say that there's hope, that she can keep fighting. There's some place out there for her that can help give her resources to help her move forward and make her life what she wants it to be.
So we got to looking, and we got to thinking, and we both liked the idea that Mountain Home might be the venue that we would use to put a women's shelter and do it in a way that we could be a part of it and be meaningful to us.
So then in 2018, the foundation approached the organization to build a shelter, and just under a year later, we were able to have this beautiful 6-bedroom shelter. On our very first day of our ribbon cutting, we brought in our first resident, and watching that happen was extraordinary because we were putting this person in a hotel, and that costs a lot more than actually bringing them into a shelter. So being able to change that was a huge difference, not only in what we could provide, but in how our clients felt toward us, to understand that we really are there to help them.
Humboldt County is over 3,000 square miles. There's a lot of rural communities and small towns. The people are more prone to isolation, so it makes it harder for us to get our word out to them, as well as it creates hardship for them to get to us. One of the problems is that the people in small towns and rural communities don't know that we have these services available in Mountain Home.
One of the biggest challenges, domestic violence is very serious when it comes to the Sheriff's Office and the Mountain Home Police Department. For the Sheriff's Office, it is the distance that we have to travel with the amount of staff that we have on board. If you're from this area and you have no relatives that you can go with or a friend that can take you in, it is just very hard for people to find some place of shelter. It is one of the best things that ever happened to Arapahoe County. And for the city of Mountain Home, it's just, everybody needs places like that. And they just need to be able to go someplace and be safe.
Our shelter is still communal living like any normal shelter, but it is really created to be a safe and homey environment for anyone, so that way they can come in and feel comfortable and know that when they're there, they're safe and not in just another shelter that houses a bunch of people on top of each other, while making sure that whoever is there is in a comfortable and safe environment. Our biggest upcoming challenges are going to be the federal funding cuts that are still coming, on top of just a growing economy where everything that we purchase and need to spend costs more anyways. So getting less money from our grants while having to spend more money on our needs is definitely our biggest struggle.
I think that the center is essential for a place for people to go, because when we didn't have that before, we tried to help as much as we could, but there's just something about a safe haven.
Elmore County Domestic Violence Council offers assistance to victims and survivors to include emergency shelter, advocacy, counseling, and relocation. It takes more than just our advocates to provide these services. Community support is a vital component to our mission. There are many ways you can help.